Hey, welcome to another Milepost here on the V-Twin Life. The V-Twin Life is brought to you by a few great companies. One being Crash Inc. Clothing. You can find them out of Oregon. Great company, specialized in clothes, doing work on bikes now. You can check them out at crashinclothing.com. They got a lot of great stuff. Hey, head on over there. Maybe they got something you like. And we can't forget Wild Ass. You like pounding miles, you like riding, you want to be in comfort? Hey, maybe strap a Wild Ass under your ass and ride with an air cushion and be comfortable for hours. And can't forget Custom Dynamics, leading the industry in lighting LED technology. Man, these guys got some great stuff. So head on over to Custom Dynamics and check it out. Now, let's get to another milepost of the V-Twin Life. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Milepost Sunday. We're kicking down Milepost 88 with Adam, aka the PDX Dyna Crew, the Blue-Eyed Devil, and he's gonna come hang out, share some stories. You've been riding for a while, loves bikes, and lives behind the brand, buddy. So, dude, Adam, thanks for coming on and coming hang out tonight.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm pretty stoked. Pretty stoked. What you're doing is the Lord's work over here, so we appreciate you.
Okay, thank you, man. I always say, man, I enjoy this. This is so much fun for me. You know, hang out with a lot of guys, and a lot of us talk social media wise and messaging back and forth, comment, sharing, tagging, and it's always fun to, in a way, meet up face to face and have a good time. Hopefully this summer I'll make it down for some of your guys' events you got down there. But
Did
it's
you
fun,
make it down for one?
The very first one.
Yeah. I don't know about the first one, but first one of maybe the second year, the third year.
No, actually, see, I went down. It was for the Crash Inc. party at Paradise when they released his clothing brand. That's what it was.
That's it. I know I've seen that beautiful face somewhere in person, man. So.
Yeah, one time. It always seems all the events you guys going on. It's like I always had other stuff going on, and it's trying to juggle everything. But I'm gonna try to make some time. I know I got some events planned for this summer, but some of this local stuff be fun to mob down there and hang out for a while.
Yeah, we'd love to have you, man. Come down here. Not really sure a lot of the stuff we're doing this year, but man, you're in the Northwest. There's a lot of great rides everywhere you go. I was blessed enough to be able to go back and forth to work from Maupin from Portland to Maupin every day for work, and that ride is fucking amazing, man. So maybe we can go on that one.
Maupin, that's up towards Mount Hood, isn't it?
Past Mount Hood, Mount Hood's halfway.
Okay.
So yeah, from here you cut through Mount Hood, and then you cut around Warm Springs, and then straight. A lot of nice zigzags, and then there's this really long straight, and then you go up Maupin and Bake Oven. There's a bunch of little twisties over there. It's beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let's kind of dive in. I like to with everybody, man. So where'd motorcycles come to life for you, man? When did it start?
When I was young, I was always infatuated by anything with wheels and a motor, and motorcycles are scary, and I like scary shit. So, my uncle had a buddy who would ride bikes around the neighborhood, little dirt bikes, and he would let me ride it sometimes. And then from there, just going out riding with my buddies at a young age, riding dirt bikes. And then, my early 20s, I got a Gixxer 1000 for a little bit. It was the guy I got from sales punched up to a 1300. I don't know whether that was true or not, but the thing was fast. I mean, it did 100 miles an hour in first gear, red line. It was very, very, very scary. But I had way too many super, super close near death incidents with that thing. So I was like, all right, I got to get rid of this. And I decided to get into Harleys, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to take a crash course, and I'm just going to buy a chopper because they're not very reliable. So I'm going to learn a lot real fast. And I bought the Tiger King back in SoCal. Oh, man, I was 25, 26, and she was a ripper. I'd take her back and forth to Vegas. It's always some kind of small little shit. I rebuild the motor a few times, but yeah, I'm hoping to get it back. I was saying this last year that I was going to get it back last summer, back on the road, but shit happens, and it's sitting over at my buddy Shaq's shop. Waiting for me to just fine tune it. And then so after that, I moved up here, and I still have my chopper. And I was like, man, I want to get a Dyna. One of my buddies I was living with back in SoCal, he had a Dyna, and we'd fucking ride my chopper in his Dyna all the time. I was like, man, I want one. And I went into Paradise Harley-Davidson over here one day, and I went to go return a T-shirt or something, and I was like, yeah, you guys got some Dynas? And Joey, who was working there at the time, rest in peace, man, she's a fucking complete saint. Um, she was talking to me. She's like, here, just sign this. And when I looked around, she had them pull 4 or 5 Dynas out in the front. She's like, here, just sign here, go take them out. You can be out all day when we shut. Just, let me know what you want. It was the very first one that I got was this black one. And I fell in love with Harleys and Dynas right then and there. No turning back.
So what part of SoCal did you grow up in?
Sacramento Valley.
Okay.
It's like kind of northern LA County, just north of like the Hollywood Hills.
I've been in the area one time.
Yeah, I missed much. It's where the whole term like Valley Girl comes from, or that whole slang term like clueless.
Well, I was down there for 25, 6 years ago to do the Lake Elsinore Grand Prix when it first came back.
Ooh, nice.
So I went down there for that and got to meet a lot of cool people, and that was a fun adventure.
Yeah, I've never been to that, but I can imagine it sounds pretty dope.
Yeah, because remember we're up in I went down there with friends, so they had friends up in Lake Arrowhead. So we were up above San Bernardino and got some cool pictures up by, what's it called, the Cliffhanger Restaurant? I think that's what
Something
it was.
like that. I'm pretty familiar with the area, like Big Bear. My sister stayed up there for a while. We go up there all the time. Arrowhead and like that whole like San Bernardino County is it's really nice, man.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever been down there.
Yeah.
Well, actually, before that, I made a little kid like Disneyland shit, but way down there. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, obviously, you have there is no riding season. It's all like you could ride all the time. That's like the one thing that I miss the most about it is just riding whenever the fuck you want. Over here it gets pretty miserable to the point where you just don't want to.
Yeah, I like to spin now.
You can do the cold. You can do the rain. You do the cold and the rain. It's a pain in the ass.
It sucks, but yeah, I mean, it is doable, but it's just not near as fun. It's depressing. Yeah.
Jason and I and a couple other homies, that's how Jason from RP and I kind of met, was like a few years ago. We'd go to the flat track races. And this is all during the middle of the winter, man. And him and I were the only two dudes who were like consistently riding down there together. And that's how me and Jason became really, really close. But I it's one of those things, like, is when I got my dyno, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to fucking prove that I can do this shit. And I'm no punk. And now I'm just like an old crippled guy. I'm like, maybe not today.
Yeah. When you get older, it's like, yeah, I just not feeling it.
You do it because you like it, because it's fun and it's enjoyable. But when it's not enjoyable, it defeats the whole purpose.
Got a point. I mean, it is nice rides, like, what we've been dealing with now, the mid 30s to the low mid 40s, and it's where every day you got drizzle and rain in it, and it's like, shit.
Yeah. So we had, I just had one of my friends come from she came from Canada. Was she, Calgary? I forget. She went down for like a sponsorship for Arlen Ness, and she came back up through here. This was yesterday, the day before, and it's kind of raining. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. And she's in fucking spandex pants and just like a normal ass tan. She's like, this isn't shit. She said, let's go. All right, well, I guess it ain't that bad. It could always be worse, right?
Yeah, it gets pretty cold, I think, up in that area. I'm gonna talk to Stevie, the military biker, and he's up somewhere in that area, and yeah, still dealing with snow and all that good fun shit.
She said they still have 3 feet of snow over there. Like,
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm like, no way. So like going up there, she like sent me pictures. She's like, look at this shit. Like, see on the sideway, like on the side of the highway, it's stacked.
Yeah, you got Springer Mike. Try riding this time of year in Wyoming. No, I'll pass.
No, Montana, no. Fucking Rob Carpenter's out there doing it though. He's out in Montana. He's still out. I think he practices a lot at the dragway out there. Rob One Wheel Revolution. Amazing stunt rider.
So what
You know,
what
go
made you
about.
kind of want to dive into the stunt realm of doing stuff and wheelies and all the hooligan shit?
I've always just been a dumbass, and I've like doing dumb shit. Like wheelies are cool. I remember like growing up and watching like Rough Rider videos, DMX and shit. Like, yeah, I want to do that. You know, I had some buddies who did some stunt riding on street bikes down SoCal. Um, but when I started it was actually up here after I got that first Dyna, and it was like Halloween or Friday the 13th around Halloween, and I was with Levi of Sporty Mob and a couple of my other buddies, and we're going to go get tattoos, and uh, we're getting on the freeway, and I just see Levi just pick it up. I'm like, no, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, I need to do that. That's the tattoo I got that night, man. It's the Reaper. Kind of makes sense because it's just definitely gonna kill me. It's already tried, but uh, nobody up here was doing it, so like trying to get any like Bryce from Paradise Harley was really good. He was good. He's still good, but he was giving me a lot of pointers and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, man, just go to the lot, practice it yourself. You know, when you're going uphill, the weight's kind of different, so it's easier to pop up that front end. So it's going to be easier if you're going to try to pop it up uphill versus downhill and flat and whatever." And I would just go to parking lots by myself until I got kicked out, ran out by security or the cops, and um, started to just barely be able to get it up and do enough to like just attract attention. And I was like, man, everybody needs to be doing this. So me and Jason, and we'd host lot days and try to get everybody that we could possibly get to come out. And end of last year when I was down, we'd be at the lot, man. You got like 6, 7, 8 bikes, man. We're parking lot pimping in there and shit. I'm just like sitting in a chair. I could barely walk. I'm sitting in a chair. My buddy's doing cookies around me and shit. But yeah, man, it's dope. I love it. I love the progression. I love how far it's come since we started up here.
It really has become popular and becoming I guess a new sport in a way, because I mean it was always your sport bikes, your leader bikes and whatnot, and it wasn't something that people were doing
Yeah,
on the Harleys and stuff. So it kind of opened the door to a new fucking genre of it, I guess you could say.
yeah. It's if you ever see a street bike and then you see a Harley doing a wheelie, the Harley just is so much cooler because you're like, what the fuck is that, a Harley? Like those things aren't meant to do that. Like everybody I know who sees shit, they're like, yeah, I've seen street bikes, but not never Harleys. It's like so much cooler. And, like I agree. Like I used to do it on street bikes too, and like I think it's way cooler on Harleys because there's so much not. You have to fight those things a lot of
That's
the
a
time.
lot of weight.
Yeah, yeah. You can't. They're not just like like a CBR or something like that. You just dump clutch or you just power up. A lot of these bikes aren't that powerful. You have to fight it. You have to dump the clutch and the gas and release everything at the right time and pull back and then not go too far back. You have to kind of work it up and not overpower it or underpower it. It's a dance. It's a
It's an
dance,
art.
and I love it. Yeah, yeah. I'm not a good dancer.
I don't think many of us are.
No, definitely not now. I can barely walk, so definitely not a good dancer.
Yeah,
It's crip walk. Yeah.
the
No,
crip walk.
my walking's been getting better lately. Been doing a lot of like alternative medicine and actually getting out there, um, shit like that.
Well, you
So
had a doozy of a wreck. You want to dive in just kind of what I mean? You don't have to so much go into details, but just kind of how what I mean. You were pretty banged up when it came to
yeah,
broken.
yeah. It's paralyzed, like fully paralyzed from the waist down. So it was Halloween last year. It was just a little over a year ago. Jason and I were going to go meet up with some of our buddies on the west side, and we leave a gas station, and it's one of those things I really don't like to do on small. It's not so much a residential street, but it's like a 2-lane street with, I don't know, there's a whole lot going on there. And I pop it up leaving the gas station, and I'm hanging off the left side of the bike, and there's a stop sign up there, and it has like when I look down the street, there's nothing there, but like the guy was sitting there, and the guy looked at Jason and started talking shit to Jason because Jason's flying in front of me, And while I'm hanging off the left side of the tank, the guy starts running into my lane. I still can't see him until he's right underneath me. And so I hit like that, and so it catapulted me up like, I don't know, 20, 25 feet, and then 140 feet down the road. And the impact from hitting it like that just completely took my spine and went like an accordion. So L1 down was like severed, burst fractures when I landed. I broke most of these ribs, this one ankle. Um, and Jason comes up, he's like, all right. I was like, dude, that's some pretty sweet airtime on that. It was like with the Talladega Nights, like, yep, I'm airborne. It's full blown, like one of those moments. I'm like looking at the top of people's houses. I'm like, oh, we got this kid's throwing his cars up there and shit.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah. Well, it was very painful. It took a lot to get back on my feet. I was literally paralyzed. They didn't know if I'd ever walk again there. Well, they had my back just split open. They're doing nerve tests, between my back and my foot. And they're like, we're not getting a whole lot back. It's not looking really good. And I wake up and just can't move, man. It's terrifying. Like I can move up here, but everything's hurt because I took a fall right here, and they said I might not ever walk again, and I was like, I told them to get fucked. And then you ever watch Kill Bill, that first one, after Uma Thurman's like paralyzed and shit, she's like, wiggle your big toe. Well, I did that, but for 3 days straight, and then finally they started just barely coming back online, like super slow, but it was good, like really good progress. I think on like the 3rd day I was up and like walking around, if I could hold my weight up, like just trying to get my legs going. And it was a whole process. ICU for 3 days, trauma unit for another couple weeks, inpatient rehab for like 3 weeks. Barely walked out of there. Like I had my walker. I'm like, I'm gonna walk out the threshold. I took like 2 steps. I was all right, yeah, that's it. But it's just always a fight. I'm still pretty fucked up from it. My right foot has like not a whole lot of strength. I always look like I'm just like a drunken fucking toddler, just bouncing around all the time because I can't like really like stand straight because like everything's not really still firing off the best. And it's not the strongest, but it's going good. We're still making progress on it.
Well, from where you started, I mean, I remember seeing all the posts and whatnot. I mean, you basically in the walker and wheelchair, and to see you're upright on 2 feet now is pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm stubborn as fuck, dude. I don't like people telling me no, I can't do shit.
Got to use it for fuel.
Yeah, I mean, one of the driving things for me was like, you're going to be doing wheelies by Christmas. It's 2 months before Christmas. If you're going to be doing wheelies by Christmas, well, that didn't happen. But that was like always the thing. Like, I need to get back out there. I need to keep doing this shit. You fall off that fucking horse, you get right back on. And if bikes almost cost me everything, but it's still it was always my reason for like positivity and living and enjoyment. And even after the wreck, like I wanted to get back on it, and that's what really pushed me to just not take no for an answer and work my fucking ass off to get back to where I am.
Well, it's like Fat Guy made a good comment. You can't, you won't is a great motivator.
Yeah. Oh, we got comments. I didn't see those earlier. Yeah, I was wondering where those were. I don't like being told what to do very much. I'm pretty rebellious. I'm not like an asshole, like go do shit, but like I don't like being told no. Wait, that sounded kind of rapey.
Yeah, you get bucked off, you get right back on.
Yep, get right back on. And it sucks because I know a lot of people who they take a little fall and they get really scared, man, because it's a scary thing what we do, man. Anything can happen. You could have a wheel bearing blow up. I've known dudes who their tire blew up and they fucked off. Like they get spins, they flip their bike, they hit a guardrail. You never know when it's coming. You never know what's coming. You never know if something's going to be in the road. You never know if somebody's going to hit you. And we take that fight every day with a smile on our face because of what it does for us, like positively.
Yeah, 2 wheels is a lot different than being on 4 when things can go wrong. You like I said, I mean, you can't control mechanically stuff can go wrong, but I
Yeah,
mean, there is, taking care of yourself in a way, not trying to put yourself in too much harm's way, but
yeah,
two wheels is still two wheels.
yeah. That's why I think everybody, if you're out here riding, I know a lot of people don't work on their bikes. You fucking should, because why are you gonna let somebody else put your life, in their hands? Like, I'm not saying like everything, but there's a lot of stuff that you could do to make sure, like, to get to know your bike. Like working on your bike is an intimate process with you and the bike, and you learn a lot about it and about yourself. And you can you don't look like an asshole having somebody else work on your bike.
Yeah, I mean, I can see, some people just mechanically they're, afraid of it, or they don't want to try it and get
Yeah,
intimidated by it, but it is a nice sense of feeling when you, get stuff accomplished and do it
yeah,
yourself. But I mean, there are some things that, or situations like, I mean, I had that last year when my new charging system went out when I was in South Dakota. I mean, I
mm,
could do the work, but when you're 1,300 miles from home, replace the stator on the side of the road just isn't that feasible.
no,
And
there's
some things
specialty
you got to
tools.
bite the bucket, or bite the bullet, and
Yeah,
you do it. But
yeah. I mean, I totally get that. Um, I had the same thing happen to me when we were supposed to go do our 1K, um, out to see Roji in Vegas and stuff like a few months ago. I was driving back and forth to work every day, and my stator gave out, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like the day before we're supposed to go. Like I'm coming home, it's early. I'm like, I had one of the homies go all the way out to Salem, grab me a stator because one of the dickhead companies over here wouldn't answer their phone, and then ride it all the way back out to me. I'm sitting there, I'm wrenching on it all night, and you need specialty tools for that. And then, Lord, like I love my girl to death, but she's like wants to be there, and it's very like distracting. So like yeah, I didn't get to go on that trip to say the least. Very bummed
I
about
was
it.
pissed in mine when I only had like 5,000 miles on the charging system. The whole thing fried. I was pissed.
Dude, I've seen parts where, you get like a new coil or some shit. They're bad out the box. New battery, bad out the box.
Yep. Actually, so wrench spinner Nick, what makes a Dyna preferred is a extreme bike. I guess you can say,
Done as
the
fuck. Done as fuck. I mean, so it's kind of like your mid class um Harley. It's smaller and lighter, more agile than a bagger. It's bigger and stronger than a sporty. So like me, I'm a big guy. I'm like 6'2", 6'3". When I first got on this Dyna, man, my legs would cramp up all the fucking time. It was not comfortable at all. But it's a good little in between, and they're light enough, they're agile enough, and there's so much really good aftermarket support on those that you can do anything you want. Suspension, brakes, engine, bars, swing arms, you name it. Um, that's one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of them.
well, that mean you mean especially when it comes to engine and upgrades because it's not like the 1,200 Sportster. I mean, you got the
I got
same
so
engine
much to
as
work
all
with.
the other baggers, so your
Yeah,
engine options are unlimited almost, as you could say, to what your pocketbook can afford.
yeah, yeah. You could do a lot. Like I got a 103 in mine. You could make that 103 all the way up to I think a 117. Just with that crank, I think might be able to make up to 120. 110 for sure. A lot of people do those really really easy with like just a head upgrade, a little bit on the cylinders. Cams, you have how many worlds of cams,
Oh yeah,
sprockets, and it's I don't know, man. They're gorgeous bikes and just beautiful.
and just the sound of the twin cams. I mean, it's just for me
Yeah.
also. I just love it. So that two wheel Tito had one here. Did you rebuild the bike you crashed, or did you end up getting a new one?
Oh, Tito, what's up? Um, that bike's gone. It was one of those things that took me out, like literally off my feet for a while, and it was like either keep the bike or get rid of it and have money to live off of. So
Yeah.
it took me a while. I really didn't want to, but I had to get rid of the bike. Um, the guy actually bought it from the auction. He hit me up in Southern California. He's like, "Yo, what's going on?" Yeah, RIP to the Warhorse for sure. Jason was there for it. Um, but yeah, he hit me up about it, but I was like, "Yo, like, listen, when you got this bike, I ripped apart the primary. There's nothing in there, in case you're wondering what's fucked up." Like, I was really straightforward with him about every single thing. He's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Yo, I got those parts, man. I'll fucking, I have a bunch of extra clutch baskets and this and that. I'll send them to you." I was like, "You pay shipping, whatever. I'll send you." And then the guy just kind of went radio silent. I've been meaning to hit him up about that. I really want to know where it's at.
Yeah, a little sentimental value to it.
Everything I have has a certain amount of like sentimental value. I get really close with my shit. I'm not one of those dudes who like just gets a bike and can flip it the next month. And like there's a lot. Like I'm one of the dudes who works on his bikes. I get blood, sweat, and tears put in those things. That's it's like my child. And there's so many times where you have near death experiences or like some kind of like religious experience driving that bike, man. So it's hard to just let it go for me. I never understood how people could just not get sentimental value to their bikes, cars, all that stuff.
True, and some people do attach. I mean, there are. I mean, a lot of people you get accustomed to it, or you have them for such a long period of time that they become part of you.
Yeah, yeah. You buy the bike, and it's always kind of like I buy used shit because obviously they don't make diamonds anymore. So you don't really know the full history about it and what's going on with it. But once you put in some miles and some work, you start to know like this is what to look out for, or this has been done. You know, versus just buying something like new and going through it. But I mean, those new softails are really nice. They're very dependable from what I'm seeing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Jason has this fucking roadglide that won't die. This guy takes it all over the country, stunning it on one wheel like half the time. I think the most he's done is like break a belt. That's it.
Hey, someone can take a beating and they just keep going.
I don't understand it. You know how many problems I have with China? It's constant. It's constant. It's
the love-hate relationship.
Yeah, clutch baskets are like my worst enemy. Like stock clutch baskets. Now I know that's going through them. I go through 2 or 3 a year. Like that's one of the first things to come out. There's so much shock and impact on those like cast iron or whatever bullshit they are. They just always break. We were supposed to, me and Brad and Jason were gonna go down, I think for Roji's birthday. It was when was it? It was because you ride a fucking down, yeah. Because I ride the dime. It was, what was it? St. Patty's Day a couple years ago. And I'm super stoked. We did our St. Patty's activities at the old Donald Tavern. We're going through Salem, and me and Jason just put them up left and right, crossing streams and shit. And all of a sudden, I get this weird vibration. Like, fuck, I've been here before. I know what that is. I pulled into Brad's driveway, and yeah, clutch pass is gone. We left the chat. They had a good time though. I didn't even have a good time leaving his house. I got pulled over. My little Subaru.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they're temperamental, man. They're very temperamental.
Well, I mean,
That's
yeah,
what I like about.
I wouldn't say you're, abusing it, but I mean, when you're riding hard to
Oh
do what you
no,
want
I
to do,
abuse the
so
shit out
it
of
takes
them.
a toll.
Yeah, no, I'm not nice on any of that shit. Either it's gonna make it or it's not. It's kind of like me. It's like I'm gonna make it or not.
Yep, yeah. So you enjoy? I mean, but besides all the stunt riding, you ever get out much and still say take off a couple day adventures on them, or is it just mainly just for fun and street?
I've tried. I tried to go with this bike with Jason and Sam and Shaq, Big Daddy Shaq, down to California. They went to Fishtail show and a bunch of other stuff to get Denver. You mean Utah? Utah boys to fly with big
No,
bike
he's
there?
talking about me. No,
Oh,
he's a buddy of mine. He lives here in town. Well, Tito.
Tito?
Yeah.
Tito's awesome, dude. He showed up to like one of the last bike nights, put on one hell of a fucking show. Like I'm pretty bummed out that like him and I didn't really like talk too much during bike nights. I just have a million things going on. I'm running most of the show. Um, but he hit me up afterwards, man. Him and I have been in touch back and forth, man. I hope he's doing all right.
But
But
anyway, yeah,
yes,
back
you
to
need
like
to
your
come.
your
You need to
travel
come.
aspect. Oh, I'm gonna try to make it down for at least one this summer. I know I got some other stuff in the works. Some my mile monster stuff and rides and Sturgis, and my daughter's getting married in July, and
I still haven't been to Sturgis. I haven't done shit.
I've neither. This will be my first year, but I gotta be a lot of fun. I'll be over there with the Wild Ass crew and hanging out, be at the working the Wild Ass booth, slinging seats.
Getting that ass wild. Yeah. It's like I feel sometimes like I'm in like Truman Show, man. Like every time I try to break out, dude, something bad happens.
Subaru,
So
did you have your Birkenstocks on? Oh, that was funny.
my Birkenstocks, nobody was definitely vaping. R.I.P. Super Steve. Yeah. So I've always wanted to go to Sturgis, man. Never made it. Was wanted to go with Jason one year, whatever popped up, work or whatever, couldn't make it. The only thing that we've really done is me and Brad went out to the V Twin Visionary show, um, and that was in Stockton at John Jessup's Dream Rides. And they trailered. We were trying to trailer everything in, and I just got fucking antsy. I'm like, and we got to like Southern Oregon, I think outside of Roseburg. And I'm like, just dude, just break out the bikes. Like I'll ride the rest of the fucking way down. Like I like to ride. And yeah, that was a trip that I won't forget. It was pretty dope. So we stopped off in like Shasta, Lake Shasta, got some really good pictures, did some swimming, and there's a lot of good memories in between and at the show.
That must have been cold.
No, it wasn't
Swimming
that
in Lake
bad.
Shasta.
It was so they have these like houseboat things. I don't even know if it was on Shasta. It was right around there somewhere. It wasn't too bad during the
Nice.
summer. Yeah.
I've been by
But
Mount
yeah,
Shasta, but I've never been explored that area. It'd be fun to go down. I'd like to
it's
do the PCH
beautiful.
someday.
Yeah, like all the
Just
way from
cruise
here
101 and just go
down.
all the way down.
It's always best to go southbound because you're kind of on the side where you're closest to the water. When I would do rides in SoCal, anytime we would go up north, like I'd go up to Big Sur sometimes with my chopper and go right around there. And I'd come back, I'd always take down like PCH because you're like right by the water versus kind of a little bit further back and have to look over shit.
That would be fun.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll get a dependable bike and I'll go with you on a ride.
So, what's one of your favorite
It's
runs you like? If you can get out and just go rally some road, man, what's your favorite part down there?
um so like I said from working out and mopping, it's like the 26 down to the 216. It's 216 or 126 goes around Warm Springs. It's a raceway, man. Like during the summer, there's usually not a shit ton of cars out there. It's 2 lane. It's well paved, and there's good little switchbacks. There's nice sections where you can really get on it. There's a nice little fucking S curves, and it's just beautiful surroundings, man. You pass by Mount Hood, and then you go in around Warm Springs, and there's trees everywhere, and deers and wildlife. And we saw some elk not too long ago out there. Um, that's a really nice ride, and I
We
got to
found
do that
one
every day for like 5 months, 4 months, something like that.
this summer. We were up on when we came around Mount Hood. Friend Steve found a place we went down. We got some pictures, did a little drone thing down at Lake Trillium. That was pretty fucking
It's
cool.
really,
That
ooh,
was beautiful. The lake was just like glassy. You got Mount Hood, but then it's reflecting into the water too, and it was a killer picture. And we got some cool drone footage right there. All the bikes on the out on the little dike, and then we got kicked off or in the dam because can't have those out here. Cool, we'll be done in a little bit.
word. I didn't see the sign.
Yeah, that's what we said. He didn't like that either.
No, sounds gay. Fuck that guy.
But that was pretty cool. That is a beautiful area.
Yeah, man. This whole area is pretty nice. Leavenworth, I want to do that this year. It's not too far from here. It's pretty nice. Anywhere going
Leavenworth's
down towards the
beautiful.
port. Yeah, I haven't been, unfortunately. Me and my girl were just talking about going there for my birthday next month because it's like a nice old timey like German town or some shit.
Yep. Yeah, the Bavarian Village. It's pretty freaking
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So hopefully I could do that ride this year. Let's
Well, if you
see.
do that in
Going
the
out to
summertime, you go all the way up and you go to Leavenworth, and then
uh
say if you're doing midsummer, go up 97, head towards Wenatchee, and then go north up to Winthrop, and then come back up over the North Cascades. That's a beautiful
that'd be
ride.
dope. That'd be dope. Yeah, you definitely have a lot more knowledge on some of the stuff than I do. So I got to get some rides in with you, man. One other good one out here that we used to rip all the time is Hag Lake over like by like Forest Grove area. It's a course that goes all the way around the lake, 2-lane blacktop, very well paved, and it gets kind of busy during the summer. So if you get there early summer or like late summer where it's dying off, there's like no cops up there really. Like we just fucking
Now,
scoot and
whereabouts
do.
is that at? Like close to another city area?
Forest Grove, you know where Forest Grove is?
No.
So if you're going towards the beaches from Portland, you take the 26th, and it's right before Banks. Banks has like a racetrack. I don't know if you ever heard of Banks,
I
but
think I
it's right
rode
around
by it
there.
one time.
Yeah, it's Hillsboro, just past Hillsboro.
Okay.
Yeah, just on the outskirts. Pretty nice
Yeah,
roads up there. There's what is it, Eagle Creek? No, it's not Eagle Creek. It's a couple really nice roads out there though, with good vantage points, good viewpoints.
we drove through part of the area once when we went from Longview out down to Seaside. Went across and went
Yes.
on the Oregon side instead of taking the Washington side. Or no, we took Washington, then we came back on the Oregon side. That's when we took the wife across the Astoria Bridge. She was pissed. She didn't like that. She doesn't like bridges.
Why?
Well,
It's
and I
majestic. It's a
didn't think it
huge
didn't help,
bridge.
but you climbing up the bridge, and then they happened to be doing construction on it, so we got stopped at the very high point of the bridge, and dude, she was
Oh
gripping
no.
the door so hard you could see sweat running down the door. She didn't like it. Not a fan of that stuff. Doesn't
You
like
guys are in a
heights.
car? You guys are in a
Mm-hmm.
car and shit like it? Oh man.
Yeah.
That's to be on a bike.
Yeah, she's not fond of bridges and
She's just
heights.
dangle your ass out. Don't get me out of here. Help me. Yeah, that sucks. I'm not really too scared of has she always been like that?
Yeah, I know it's like we came back once when traffic was bad, so we came up over Chinook Pass here in Washington. Yeah, she hated that.
Oh,
She didn't like me at all.
weird. Weird. Some kind of subconscious thing about heights, huh?
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah. Take her like a hypnotherapist or some shit. Have them just get that thing out of her.
Uh, so now you were with Brad when you guys did. See, you had the fastest one or the largest group for the
Yep.
old 1K.
So at the time, yeah, Jason had this wild hair up his ass. I don't even know how he felt rambling the 1K, man. Uh, but he did, and he told me about it, and that's still when I was kind of new and chomping at the bits and shit. I was like, yes. I mean, I'd still do it. Not to say that I wouldn't do it now. I would absolutely want to do it. But yeah, so we got X amount of people together, and that said they want to do it. Of course, that kind of dwindled to the 9 of us, but it was still the biggest group to do it, like on record. And at the time, what was the time? The fastest time was 12:50 or some shit, and we did it in like 12:40. 9 bikes, Harleys that didn't break down. Like I don't know if you could do that again,
That's
especially
straight
with Harleys.
mauling.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jason lost like right when we left the gas station. Jason didn't bungee down his gas can and fucking goes flying. And I don't know, like because we were up front and all of a sudden everybody stopped. I'm like, oh no, this is a great start. But yeah, nobody went down. Jason got it. Nothing blew up.
Well, that's always
And yeah,
good.
we went 84 early in the morning. I think it was like 4 or 5 in the morning. Straight down the 84 towards Bliss, Idaho, Snake River, Even people jump Snake River.
Yeah.
And that was just about the halfway point, a little bit over. And just turned around, hooked him up, and came back, man.
Yeah,
It was
down and back,
great.
slam the interstate.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, my ears are ringing for like 2 days. I had that thunderheader on there, dude, and we were wide open, man. It was either that or from riding next to Brad because he had a 5-speed at the time. And that thing was singing.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. The good old 5-speed life.
Yeah, man, he just sold that bike recently. It's. I think it's still in good hands. It's with somebody in the community, but
Which one? What the
yeah,
Crash Glide?
the Crash Glide. Yeah,
He sold it.
the
Holy shit! I didn't know that.
yeah, he did. I think is another guy's name Adam that has it. Is it Adam?
I'm not
He was
sure.
supposed to do the 1K with us. Jason would know. But yeah, that thing was fucking singing the whole time. We're all like, this is
Yeah,
like one
she
of the
said
weak
Adam.
points. Yeah, the other Adam has it. That's what I thought. But yeah, now he's got that really nice bike.
Dude, that one is nice. No, because he rode this summer and we did the Monsters Over Mountains. Him and
Yeah,
Amber came up and Amber stayed here with my wife. They did some stuff and then we went and
Amber is such a
zigzagged the
trooper.
Cascades.
Amber is such a trooper. She does
She's
everything
cool.
with a smile on his face. Like it's awesome. I love their relationship.
Yeah, Brad's a super cool dude. She's really nice. They're good people. Enjoy hanging out with them and shit.
Yeah, Brad just breeds positivity. Pretty good.
He lives by
Kind
it.
of. Yeah,
Mr. PMA.
yeah. I mean, definitely helped me a lot with that, mindset going through my accident, trying to stay positive the whole time. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard when you can't walk. It's hard when you got to fight for anything and everything, man.
Oh, I could only
But
imagine.
it's like the staying positive and like hearing people like in my DMs, wish me well and shit like that, man. It's fucking
Well,
having a
the
good corner in
motorcycle,
your back is huge.
it is that the motorcycle community as a whole is a very awesome and, I mean, people might think not so, but I mean, in a way, it's a real tight knit community, especially, a lot of the guys all up in this area, but also as, a lot of the friendships I've made with the guys, throughout doing all these, across the country, and you build the friendships, and it is a very tight knit community and very supportive of each other,
Yeah.
and it's an awesome thing to be part of.
It's one of the reasons why I love this area so much, man. 'Cause, like, I mean, I grew up in SoCal. I had like a couple friends and shit that I grew up with, but I moved up here, and
Hey, thanks, buddy. That means a lot.
every yeah, everybody that I know right now is up here. Everybody who I hang out with is all through motorcycles, man. We're just riding around my chopper. And I meet one dude from Paradise. I'm like, oh, I was such a fucking loser, man. I'm like, oh, you ride bikes? I like to ride bikes too. We should be friends. And he's like, oh yeah, whatever. But I got his Instagram, and like me and him became like really, really good friends. He had a really dope dyna at the time. It was one of the reasons why I wanted a dyna too. He had a 117 lowrider. It was just like fucking everything imaginable. He did the 1K with us on that bike. But he told me, he's like, yeah, man, I thought you were gonna rob me. I was about ready to give you my wallet. Like, I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, man, the
Oh,
people up here are super fucking solid. The community, just bikers in general, man. It's crazy. You don't really see anything like that anywhere else, unless you have like religion, maybe. But like I know through motorcycle riding and doing what we do, like people in all these different states that we could go and hang out with whenever we want, whenever we're in town. Everybody's super hospitable, like goes out of their way to make sure you're having a good time. Um, Man, what else is there like it, man? It's a
fair
brother. It's
point.
it's kind of like a brotherhood, man. Like sisterhood, everything.
It is, and it's great to see the support from everybody, and that comes all
Mm.
across it. Whether the how many times you've been to a gas station, you get gas, and you meet an individual, young, old, doesn't matter, but whether they're on a bike or they ride, they don't have one, and all of a sudden you're there for 10 minutes telling stories, or he's trying to tell
Yeah,
a good place to go, or she even, and it's And now you've been at that fuel station for 10 minutes, but you made a new friend, but you also got great advice and places to go and something to see in an area that you're not familiar with.
It happens like all the time. Chelsea and I were coming back from Seattle, and we're at a gas station in Centralia, and some dude in his fucking sick chopper and his lady show up on another chopper, and I fucking see a NOS tank on it and shit like that. I'm like, this guy's got like nitrous on it, rigid. Or it might have been softail, I don't know, but it was fully chopped up, and like we got to talking, and like and a certain MC out there, and shit. I was like, oh man, I like your bike. And they're talking about my bike. I'm like, yeah, I do wheelies. They're like, what, you do wheelies? They're like, come do in front of the clubhouse. So we go to the clubhouse. They nothing but generous the whole time. Somehow I was doing wheelies. My girl's phone fell out through my bar bag and shit. We're looking for it for like 20 minutes. But it's like one of those things where like the guy just sits here. He's like, oh well, you ride bikes, I ride bikes too. You want to go do karate in the garage? Yep. Do we become best friends? Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's pretty cool, man. And like I'm pretty encouraging to like a lot of the new people that are coming out. A lot of people ask me questions like, what should I do about this, what should I do about that, parts wise, and it's nice to be able to talk to people and share your enthusiasm and be enthusiastic about bringing them up and showing them like a good path to go down. That's that's what happened to me down here, and like everybody was super cool, and like I want to keep that going.
Right.
Pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. And I mean, it was like, well, when Tito, buddy Trenton, when he wanted to come down there, I was talking about it. So, hey, get in touch with these guys, trying to help point out, the guys that I knew. And, he shot out some messages. And next thing you know, he was down there. And I'm going to come back and said he had an absolute blast, which is cool. And it's fun
Tito's a killer, man.
To be able to introduce,
Tito's
people to other guys down there to just because, through all the getting to know everybody and doing this and making friends, it's like, hey, go this way. Here's some fellas. Get in touch with them and they'll fucking help you out. And no, it's cool.
Yeah, we've had people come through town and break down, and everybody's like willing to lend a hand. Like it's like they even more want to help when people are from out of town. Like, we don't want to get a bad name or something like that. Either way. So like I said, my homegirl came down from Canada not too long ago. I told her, I was like, I'll meet you at Paradise. She has her trailer. And Paradise has this cart for on the forklift to pick up bikes out of trucks and stuff. Tito fucks. But like while she's waiting there for me, she's talking to him and she doesn't drop my name or anything, but she kind of tells him what she's doing coming from Canada to and from Canada. And I'm like, I want to go out for a ride. My bike's in the trailer, and they just go and pull around the forklift with the attachment on it and take her shit off. Like, she's not buying anything. She's just over here trying to run through the city real quick on her way through town. And they're like, dope, let us help you out with that. They washed your bike, too. No reason.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Paradise has always been amazing to me. I love Paradise very much. Salem as well. Salem Harley's always been super cool. Shout out to both of them. Legion too. Legion's awesome. Legion's kind of a smaller, not corporate Harley place, but they fix bikes, metrics, everything. They have their own bar out here in Portland. It's kind of like a destination. If you're going to come here, you got to stop by Legion.
Wasn't there a shop down? Was it Lattice Harley-Davidson that used to be down there?
Lattice, never heard of her.
Remember their shop? It was down south of Portland a little ways. I can't remember which one it was. I stopped there like 4 or 5 years ago. 4 years ago.
I won't go.
Which one it was.
I won't go into too much detail about Lattice, but I stay away from that. Everybody up here really kind of knows why.
Well, it's not so much that. I mean, it was just one I'd cruising down the road. I went down there. My son was playing baseball, and
over off
even doing this, so I didn't know anybody. So it's like, like, hey, cool. There's a Harley shop. Well, fuck, let me just go over there and check it out for a minute. Something to do, and ripped in there and just said hey, and then shot out to Mount Hood and explored the first time I was down that area.
They got a nice inventory there. Nice place. You gotta. But you said you went to Paradise, right, for Brad's thing?
Yep.
Yeah. They're awesome. They're like, so when I first started, kind of riding and doing wheelies and growing my page initially grew just for like a community page, parts, support, whatever, just to be supportive of everybody up here doing it. We did the 1K, and after we did the 1K, they called me in and they're like, yo, like, we see you, we kind of, want to keep you, around and shit. They bought me the saddlement I have on my bike and shit. They've always been like nothing. They've always sponsored bike night. They've always done like went out of their way for me. So if you guys are ever in town, go there, or Salem's also awesome too. We've been doing for the past 2 years. We've been doing our bike nights, our openers over at Salem because they have a better lot for us to do such. And they're super supportive and on board with everything we want to do.
And that's the awesome part when they're supportive and help stand behind it and help the events grow. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's really nice to know that like you have like a big corporate like kind of name in your back, backing you up. They have a lot of resources, a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, which does help, and then especially when they want to, help support their community and everything they got going on around it, it's just going to help spread their name, and it's positive, smart business marketing for them.
Yeah, Harley stunts are big right now, man.
It's huge.
If you're working with people that are doing that, like you're going to have a lot more eyes on your business.
So Parada, okay, never mind. It's on Ride Faster Pussy. Tiger.
Right? Yeah, they're out in Tiger. Like a lot of the pieces, like Mulholland down in SoCal, a lot of those people don't have actual shows. What's the name of the spot out there in Utah? I don't know. They went over there for the Swarm. I know they did a little show over there, but it's definitely nice to have them, backing you up.
Well, in between all the stunt riding now, and then you got, the Bagger Racing League has just exploded. And that's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's fucking cool as shit to watch. And just
I'm a performance bagger, bro. Yeah, man. It's definitely made leaps and bounds just forward for the progress of all parts for all bikes involved, Harley's always been really good about having great aftermarket support for parts, you name it, on the bike. And that's one of the reasons why I really like Harleys. But now then you have the softails come out and parts with no, and then they got the Bagger Racing League going, and then people, just those big companies were trying to put out more and more product for those bikes for performance, and it's really helped boost a lot of the shit that you see going on.
Oh, doesn't it? It's, you'll see it. It's not so much that, it is the, you got massive horsepower going on these baggers, but a guy, you can pull the same parts out and you can go put it in your stunt bike. Motors, they're both, coming off the same platform. Granted, they've done a whole lot more fucking goodies to their shit to make it, where they're at track wise, but it's the same engine essentially.
Yeah, twin cam.
Do you want to put it in your fucking dyno, or do you want it in a bagger? Which way you want to go?
Yeah, it's there's a lot of people out there doing it, to go fast. As like a dude who likes to do, one wheel everywhere I go, more power isn't really your friend. Like I have a cam on my bike and a tune and shit like that, and it's like there's times where you just keep breaking tires, and it's hard to get up because you just got too much power. Yeah, like I've tried doing it on bigger bikes. No, you just roast tires. You try to do it on like a different gear or some shit. It's not worth it. And then once you're up there in that pocket and you got too much power and your room for adjustments only that much, you're gonna fucking flip it.
Yeah,
I will grow up and get a bagger eventually. I don't know. I made money. All the rich, maybe. Yeah, I got enough problems trying to put parts into this bike.
Yeah, I'll stick with my roadglide. It's comfortable. I enjoy it, and mine's.
I love it.
It's not. It's no serious performance. It's cammed and tuned, and It's got some goodies, but it's comfortable. Goes A to B, and I enjoy it.
Roadglides are dope. I remember when Jason got his, we took him around Hag Lake. Him and I switched up bikes, and fuck, you just get in that bike and it's fucking on rails, dude. Even with the apes and everything, man. I'm just getting in those corners, dude. Like, there was other dudes over there with the roadglides who have been riding for a while, and I remember we were starting to go too wide, and I'm pulling around these motherfuckers. They're just like, they're great. They're awesome bikes. I'm surprised. I don't know how you can build a big ass bike like that handles so good, but
Money.
his bike was stock, man.
Oh, okay.
That thing was stock at the time. It had some gay painters on it. That's about it. Well, trunk full of dildos. Maybe that's what it was. It was all that weight, all the dildos in his bag.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their style, what works for them, and it's just all part of, what we do. I mean,
Yeah.
what fits one doesn't fit the other, but we're all in it for the same game because we all enjoy riding, and it's all a good time. And
yeah, that's
on
what I
two
took.
wheels.
'Cause I was selling bikes at Paradise for a little bit after my accident. Like, a lot of people would come in. I'm like, yo, like, I want a bike that's like this or like that. And I'm like, the good thing about Harleys is they're a blank canvas. Like, you build them to fit you. With the aftermarket support, you can do anything. You can do a Viclo, you can do a stump bike, you can do a performance bike, you could do, you name it. One of those stupid big wheel baggers. Whatever you want, dude. Bob's your uncle.
yeah, the options are endless. It's all, what fits your style and what do you want to do?
Yeah. Yeah. What doesn't suit me might suit somebody else, and vice versa. And, like,
Exactly.
end of the day, we're both all doing shit that we like.
Well, and
We're
it's
all
like,
having fun.
how you said, I mean, as a blank canvas, and, I've made the same statement to people like, well, what should I do? What should I do to my bike? I just bought this. Should I do this, this, and this? And, I've said it before. It's like, dude, you got to think of yourself as an artist. Okay. You got yourself a blank canvas. Now build it, make it fit you. What do you want? It doesn't matter what Steve wants or what Joe wants, what Adam wants. It's not their bike. What do you want? Build it how you see fit and what you want to do.
Yeah.
You go from
Everybody's end goals is not the same. Not everybody's end goal is going to be the same. Like, you're going to want, if you want something like reliable that you're going to take across the country, just keep that motherfucker stock. Don't do shit. Maybe do a suspension. Don't touch the motor. Don't do anything. But if you want something that you're going to put a whooping on all your boys, you start putting that motor work in, do a little cam, bump up the CIs and shit. Or, you go my way and be an idiot and break your back. Who knows?
The options are unlimited. What? Choose the path you want to go.
So much room for activities.
Oh shit, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you want more room to put your shit, or do you want less room because you're just gonna go hooligan? I don't know. What do you want to do?
There's never enough room, man. The more room you got, the more bikes, more bullshit's gonna go in there. So, more room, the merrier.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out tonight and shooting the shit and letting people know kind of what you got going on, what you're doing.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. We're gonna be doing bike nights up here. We gotta sit down and start talking about that, but we're probably gonna get it going again next year. Pretty stoked for that. Everybody come down, check it out. You gotta come down.
I'm gonna make it down. I will make it down for at least one.
We'll teach you how to do wheelies on your road glide.
No, I'm good.
Somebody's gonna wheelie on that road glide before it leaves.
Actually, I need to get down there because I got forks. They're sitting in Brad's garage. I need to get down there and put them on.
Yeah, you do. Brad will knock those out. Brad's been putting in a lot of work lately, and he's so well versed now. So he probably knock that out for you real quick.
That's what I'm thinking, because I actually got a new fender I want to bring down, and then I want to talk and find out. I'd like to do, if pulling the forks out, everything, see how much more you got to dive into to change the neck bearings. Why not? If that close, I mean, having all the front end off, why not see about changing them then would be smart.
Might as well.
I think.
He's got to take apart that little nut and slip everything off. Take them out. I mean, if you're right there, might as well.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like, fuck, pulling the wheel off, might as well throw in the new wheel bearings, new neck bearings, and do it all. And
might as well
fat and happy.
strip the motor out and powder coat the frame. While you're at it, man, you're halfway there.
No, 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 not yet. Motor ain't coming out until she's tired. She's still got room. She's still got life. She's got
Yeah.
miles, but she still goes. I take care of her.
How many
Do the
miles?
best
How
I
many miles
can.
do you have on your bike? How many miles do you have on your bike?
112,000.
What year is it?
2004.
Okay, twin cam 96.
It
Or is it
started
here?
life as 88, and then at like 55-ish thousand, went to 95. The gear-driven
95.
cams,
Okay.
tune, intake, and
And that
keeps running
motherfucker
strong.
still put in work. Still
Yup.
put in work. Yeah, see, don't abuse it like me, and you have a good ride. Twin cams are awesome when you don't let Adam borrow them.
Yeah, you got to, just have fun with them. That's what I say. Just have fun, ride it.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely, man.
but, let
Everybody's on
everybody
their
know. I'll go for
everybody's
it,
on their
buddy.
same everybody's on their different road in life, man. Just gotta ride it. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I say, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you. None of you guys, you got your
Oh,
shirts and all your stuff, and plug yourself,
uh,
man.
thank you. Fuck myself. Fuck you. uh, um, yeah, no. So PDX Dino Crew at Instagram. I have a link for everything. I mean, I'm not super big on selling my stuff, man. If you want it, cool. If not, I really don't give a shit. I do it for me and for whoever the fuck wants to. And then Buy With Me Bike Night on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, you can find me at your mom's house sometimes. I get around.
Oh, shit. That's funny shit. So, right on, man. Hey, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun hanging out, shooting the shit. So, got Milepost 89 coming next Sunday. I got one or two guests. I've been trying to work when I got a guy named Mike's Moto Travels. He's been actually on the road for 2 years. And right now he's
Jesus Christ.
somewhere down and around Guatemala area. And he actually got back to me. I've been trying to get him on. And he says he might be at a place for internet. So he might be on Sunday, or it's going to be
Is that
Top
the
Shelf
guy who's been
Tangents will be
going?
on.
Is that the guy who's been going like around the world,
Yeah,
or
he
is he just
started in New
and
York in late
he went
19.
over through like Africa and shit like that?
No, not yet. He's heading that way. Actually, dude's been to which cool.
Okay.
He's on a Suzuki V-Strom. Went from New York, did all the United States, went all the way up to Alaska to Prudhoe Bay,
Okay.
and he's working his way all the way down to Ushuaia. And now that
There's some
he's
other guy that's been going like all across the world, everywhere, Europe, Africa, just picking up
yeah,
different bikes, whatever, and just going through it. I forget the guy's name, man. It's been a while since I heard about him, but
I think I know what you're talking about, but I
crazy.
know this guy now, his plan is once he hits Ushuaia, which I think he's planning on being down there in like April or May,
Hmm.
and he's going to sell the V-Strom, and he wants to go a little smaller, and he keeps plugging Royal Enfield to get a Himalaya because he wants to take it through Australia, go up I guess be the west coast of Australia up into Eastern Asia, and then actually ride the Himalaya through the Himalayan mountains. So I'm gonna try to
That'd be
get some
pretty
of
dope.
him coming on. So it's either gonna be him on Sunday or it's gonna be Tristan from Top Shelf Tangents will be on. So stay tuned. I'm gonna try to update everybody, let people know who will be on by Wednesday, and then we'll go from there. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, man.
Milepost 89, we're coming down to 11 from 100, which I can't even believe. It's crazy. I didn't think I'd be doing this still, and I don't know. From
You're
little
killing it,
idea, just
dude.
having fun and wanting to have fun and meet people, it's been an absolute blast. I enjoy this. It's a lot of fun for me, and I made 88 fucking new friends that I didn't have before this, so it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, motorcycles, podcasts, everything just bringing people together, man. It's good. Good to be able to meet you through what you're doing and through motorcycles, man, and everybody else around here. So
Yeah,
keep
it's
up the
been a
good
lot of
work,
fun,
guys.
man. So yeah, we'll definitely have to catch up this late spring, early summer, and hang out for a weekend.
Yeah, man. Mi casa is su casa.
Sweet, I like it. I mean, Tito will cruise down.
Fuck it. Tito's wild. We're gonna gain some shit.
Oh yeah, so right on, everybody. Hey man, thanks for tuning in, guys. Ride safe, have fun, enjoy the open road, and we will catch you Sunday for Milepost 89. Later, guys.